There were only a few cameramen, and Harvey scribbled on a piece of paper 100, told Wilt to hold that sign up, and there he is. Longtime Warriors Public Relations Director, going back to 1962.
So you don't think I went out on a limb? So I think that's record safe, huh? Along with all those other ones. And Al Attles, the great Al Attles, combined that night to score 117 points. Al Attles, 8 for 8, 1 for 1 from the field. Williams to finish. But Al Attles, been associated with the Warriors for over 50 years. One of the nicest men I've ever met in my entire life. You talk about class and humble. To me, the Warrior franchise, it's Al Attles, Rick Barry.
And he's part of history when you look at this graphic. He and Wilt combining for 117. Wilt and a couple of guys actually combining for the 2 out of the 3 highest totals. Think of present-day combinations that might approach 117.
Well,
LeBron and Wade, right?
LeBron and D-Wade, but I was lucky enough to be Oklahoma City about a week ago when they played Denver. Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook combined for 91. And just for a side platter, Serge Ibaka, triple-double. Points, rebounds, and blocks.
I still go with a problem with the fact that Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50 for the year and didn't win MVP. Is that Russell guy in Boston that had something to say about that? Anyway, back here, under 10 seconds in the shot clock, and Andre Iguodala knocks it down. The lead is swollen up to 18 points. As we approach 7 minutes to go, the Golden State Warriors wilting a little bit right now. There's the 3rd game of a 5-game road trip in 7 days. Ellis off the mark again. He's had a tough shooting second half, Chris.
Yeah, he got worn down without Curry, trying to do a lot. A lot was put on Monte's plate, scoring, distributing, dictating tempo of the game.
Out of bounds, it'll stay Philadelphia basketball.
And head coach Mark Jackson of the Golden State Warriors got a tough job this year, trying to change the mentality of the team, trying to get them more defensive-minded. And up until now, there has been a lot of roster changes. So really the biggest change has been Mark and his staff and trying to get these players to buy into more of a defensive mindset. But with that, you also have to look at your strengths. And this is, right now, more of an offensive roster. This roster, their strengths and their biggest assets are guys scoring the basketball.
That's the way it was put together initially. Ellis over to Klay Thompson, the promising rookie. Off the mark, rebounded by Lou Williams. Lou Williams and Monte Ellis have history going back to their battles in high school. We had a chance to spend a few minutes with them earlier today, and each of them recalled the game down in Mississippi, a game that they had to negotiate that finally ended up on Monte's home court. And each of them had a very high-scoring night. Ellis's team winning in triple overtime as Williams gets a little payback, perhaps, for that night. That one was from Jackson, Mississippi, almost. Under 6 minutes to go, he's got 18. But it was interesting, Chris, to hear the different recollections of that night by the 2 different guys and how many points each had scored.
A little discrepancy between the 2.
Hey, folks, don't forget this, just the first of 2 tonight on ESPN. The ageless Grant Hill lacing them up one more time. The Suns hosting Lob City next.
Spacing. We don't need to force any shots.
We had an interesting conversation about his philosophical approach to defense. And I like the analogy that he used with the house being the paint, the yard being outside the paint, and the three-point line being the fence.
And they're doing a good job in all areas tonight as Klay Thompson knocks down a catch-and-shoot jump shot.
From over the fence.
38% from the field, 18% from the three-point line. They're keeping him off the line, only 14 free throws. But Mark, look at the quarter scoring for the 76ers. First quarter, 25. Second quarter, 25. Third quarter, 20. So if we get a 25-point quarter, which we should, it's only right that we end this game at 100 for Wilt Chamberlain. Doug, do not put the brakes on. Let's get 100 for the big dipper.
I'm not sure Lou Williams will let him. Williams working against Ellis. Ellis kicks it out of bounds. They get a reset on the shot clock to 14 seconds. Doug Collins is as intense as they come.
Absolutely. Teacher. He's like a professor on a college campus. And with this young team.
Nice ball fake by Brand. 6 on the shot clock. Williams got to go with it. Draws the foul on Monte Ellis and will go to the free throw line. We talked about the prolific night that Will Chamberlain scored 100 points. I find it interesting that in the fourth quarter, Mully, is when he really turned it up and ended up scoring the majority of his points.
And you referenced it when Al Adams was sitting with us, Mark. Wilt was not just a big man. He was an athlete. He prided himself on being agile, quick. He's a volleyball player.
Yeah, what about this? A lot of young kids these days don't know the fact that Wilt.
So he had 23 in the first quarter, laid low in the second quarter for 18. Came back with 28 and finished up strong with 31 in the fourth quarter.
The Knicks going into that game vowed that Wilt wasn't going to get off for 50 against them. He didn't get 50, he got twice that much. Iguodala tried to pass it inside to Young in a kick ball.
And you talk about taking on challenges. He led the league in assists one year.
Phenomenal.
You know why? Just because he felt like it. Because he could, that's why.
Williams out top. Working against Monte Ellis. Gets the switch, working against Rush now. And Lou Williams with a smooth jumper. That thing is wet tonight. A 39.3-point shooter. He's up to 23 on the meter.
And if Philly can add this perimeter rhythm to their game, they're #1 defensive team in the league. That's what Doug Collins has been waiting for Jody Meeks, Lou Williams, Thaddeus Young, Andre Iguodala. Start getting their rhythm for the perimeter. They're going to be very dangerous in the playoffs.
Lee inside, contested well by Young, which forces the miss. Philadelphia came into the night at 21-15. And they're chanting Lou right now, Lou Williams, as they approach 100 points.
For the first time in 19 games, consecutive games.
That one rims out by Williams. And Klay Thompson back the other way for Golden State. Philadelphia leading the Atlantic Division right now. And winning your division guarantees you home court in that first round, as the 3-ball is good by Darrell Wright. And Doug Collins was telling us that home court in the first round is important.
Absolutely.
Last year they matched up against Miami, and they pushed Miami but still fell in 5 games.
Played them tough, except for one game. But having the home court is huge for the Sixers.
Because of their youth? Holiday with the miss.
For their youth, it just means so much. And for them, their next step is to get to that second round. And that's what they want to do. They want to build on last year and take it a step further.
Thompson again knocks down another 3.
And Klay Thompson is going to be a great player, I think, for the Warriors. You saw that last play. He handled the ball as a point guard, drove baseline drive, found the Darrell right in the corner. This kid's got tremendous skill. I'm really looking forward to watching him develop. He's going to be a really, really good player.
Iguodala. Williams for 100 points.
Now they're just teasing him.
Yeah. Williams, good hustle, knocks it away. And out of bounds off of Ellis. Timeout on the floor with 2:29 to go in the fourth quarter. The 76ers on the verge of eclipsing that 100-point barrier that has eluded them for 19 straight games. And Lou Williams came out of high school right into the league out of Atlanta. And in the wake of this one, it'll be Blake Griffin, one of the league's top dumpers, coming up next.
So frustrating. It's like I'm talking to a wall. He never listens to a word I say.
You know who's a great listener, Mary? Uvo, the Kia Optima's voice-activated infotainment system. You just tell it what to do, and it listens.
Yuvo, play funk.
Thompson with a three back the other way. Actually a two.
Either way, impressive. Catch and shoot, quick release.
Approaching a minute to go. There are 6 76ers in double figures tonight.
That's what they do. Spread the wealth.
They are a picture of balance at the offensive end. Iguodala. That do-it-yourself kit working pretty good. Everybody's going to get free burgers tonight. Everybody got fed. Especially at the offensive end for the 76ers. Right with the bucket for Golden State. Philadelphia has a home game here against Chicago on Sunday. That'll be a good test for Philadelphia, Chris. Doug Collins, his voice intoning vehemently in our meeting with us, saying, hey, we have to start beating the teams that we've been losing to. They've had a tough schedule in their losses. They've lost to good teams. Now it's time for some wins, he was saying.
Both teams rely on their defense. And I just think if they can anywhere close to this type of offensive rhythm, they're going to be a really, really tough team to contend with in the playoffs.
That game on ESPN. Thompson with the miss. And this one's done. Lou Williams with a season-high 25 points, leading the way for the 76ers as Doug Collins continues to mold his team and lead the way in the Atlantic Division. A performance perhaps that former Philadelphian Wilt Chamberlain would have been proud of tonight, as the 76ers eclipse 100 points, defeating Golden State. Elton Brand with a double-double tonight. There's been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. And Lou Williams filled his hat. For Chris Mullen and our entire ESPN gang behind the camera.